What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Ears to the Street with Factor Entertainment. Me, I am your host, HG. And I got the homie on. He will be, um, you'll be hearing through him through the phone, through the microphone. My homie Mind Over Matter. What's good, bro?
I'm good, man. You know that off grid life. I have you like that sometimes, but I'll be able to participate fully.
Absolutely. Yeah, my man, him and his people, 69 acres, down south Louisiana area, off-grid situation. We'll get into that, a little bit later into the conversation. Off-grid situation. All right, there we go. I just want to make sure we had volume. So yeah, man, it's going down in hip-hop. The Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing is still much a huge issue, a trending topic. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. People are back excited about hip hop. We haven't had like a real major hip hop battle since I don't even know, like when was like the last biggest battle? I think maybe when Drake was going against Pusha T or maybe Meek Mill. Like it seems like Drake been having most of the beefs, and then Rick Ross has hopped into it. So he's initiated himself into it. Well, Drake kind of initiated him into it because he mentioned them in the official diss track. So he was kind of thrown into it. But based off of the diss track, it seems like Rick Ross might have mentioned something to make Drake say his name. Because in the song he says, Rick Ross is 50. I can't remember the line verbatim, but he basically saying like, why did you hop in this? So that caused Drake to say what he said, and then that caused Rick Ross to come out with Champagne Moments, which is a diss track toward Drake, but it's not really, I look at it as a statement song. I don't look at it as like an official diss track because, for the most part, he was just rapping in there. It sounds like your average Rick Ross song. It don't even really sound like not too much was geared toward Drake until like the second verse leading to the outro where he was doing more talking. Mind Over Matter. Did you get a chance to hear the Rick Ross reply?
No, I just been reading excerpts from the song on the internet. I damn sure want to hear it though.
Yeah. It's cool. That's why I say it's like a statement song. It's kind of just like basically he just telling Drake that, look, dude, when you first got in the game, you weren't on top, and you want to be around me and Lil Wayne and Rick Ross and DJ Khaled, and basically you were the you were the white boy that tried to hang out with the niggas at the park. You know what I'm saying? You want to hang out with the cool kids, the black cool kids, and smoke weed and make music and do shit like that. So basically that's what the whole the whole Rick Ross angle was. So far as the Drake song, I know you probably got a little bits and pieces of that too, right?
Yeah, I did. I heard that one.
Okay. So basically, at the point now, we're just waiting on the Kendrick Lamar response. Do you think, just from I know you heard different songs here and there of all the artists, just from your opinion, who do you think will get the ups on this one, on some hip hop battle shit?
I think Kendrick gonna have it all the way because he got more of that drive. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, Drake was always pretty much like the pop star rapper. You know what I mean?
Right.
I always seen the lyricists like that. And I've always heard the rumors about ghost riders and all this and that. I think overall Kendrick gonna be able to take him.
Ghost Riders. So from a hip hop standpoint, from a someone who's listening to hip hop, I'm pretty sure most of your whole life, if not all of it, since you can remember. When it comes to lyricism and being an MC and being an artist, and let's take it into pop culture as well, do you feel that that takes away from his artistry by having ghostwriters and or having people that he referenced songs from? Do you think that takes away from, his artistry in totality overall?
Absolutely, absolutely. I feel it's okay to have ghostwriters. Some of the most well-known MCs have had people write for them, but yeah, when you don't have them, it's a whole different it's a whole different respect for that. It's a whole different. You're not looking at it from a fan's point of view. You look at it from a person that can appreciate that the ideas and thoughts came from this person's mind. And they don't rely on somebody else to write their raps for them.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I kind of think the same way. Like one of my artists that I've always liked is Kanye West. And early on in his career, there wasn't any speculation or talks of him having ghostwriters, but as he got a little bit bigger, I would say maybe after the third album, The Graduation, when he came out with 808 and Heartbreaks, around that time when he kind of put Kid Cudi on the team, I think that's when we really start hearing about him kind of having people that help him write. He's even admitted it though. Like he said in an interview once that one time he was trying to get 2 Chainz to help him with something, and he asked him something, and then 2 Chainz just looked at him and was like you got to figure it out on your own. Like, I'm not helping you write anything. So, I would say early on in his career, he probably didn't have people writing for him, but as he got a little bit bigger, what I'm saying, he widened up his circle and started bringing in writers. So we can't consider Drake or possibly even a Kanye like top 5 MCs just because of ghostwriting alone. What would you say to that?
I don't think you shouldn't be top ranked if you had ghostwriter. This should be a separate category for that right there.
Okay.
That's like the difference between an entertainer and an artist. And an artist takes pride because that's all in everything from production, like everything. Entertainer, it's like they operating from a script, and it could be nice. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people that. Matter of fact, did you remember the Fresh Prince Summertime song?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a classic.
Did you ever feel that somebody else could have wrote that?
Man, now man, where are you getting at? Are you about to tell me that someone else wrote Summertime? Because I'm kind of puzzled over here.
I don't know how much of a hip hop fan you is, but ever since when that's anybody's like favorite summertime song. I'm gonna tell you this right here. I remember Fresh Prince and Jazzy J. And I remember how he got everything. He had his own little flow. I remember the little corny Mike Tyson song.
Right.
And I remember a couple of other ones and stuff. That Summertime, it don't sound nothing like him. And actually, he always had a flow that kind of reminded me of somebody else. And you can quote me on this because I did read it from somewhere else. Rakim wrote that.
Now, okay, yeah.
Rakim wrote that.
Yeah, now let me say this because I did hear that, but I didn't hear that he wrote it, but I heard that he mimicked his cadence on it because Rakim was, had more of a low-key, smoother flow, lyrical flow, and probably before Rakim, more people were doing more of the fast rapping. And Rakim like slowed it down, had more of a pace to it, a more common word I just said, cadence to it. And he admitted that, like Will Smith admitted that out his mouth, like, yeah, like, and what's crazy about him admitting it is because Rakim said it first. Rakim said, man, that Summertime, yeah, it was a classic, but you could tell dude got his flow and the way he delivered it from me. And then maybe like 6 months later or a year later, when they interview Will Smith, Fresh Prince, and asked him about it, he admitted and said, yeah, I most definitely did take a page out of Rakim's book and lay it that way. So yeah, you dead on with that one. I don't know if he actually wrote it, like, you know what I'm saying, like wrote the song and he just performed it, but he did contribute to it, indirectly.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what's up. Yeah. So with the Drake thing, so far as what's been happening today, is just pretty much trolling. Like Rick Ross is trolling Drake, calling him white boy, calling him BBL Drake, because he said Drake had 35% body fat, but then he went and paid 40 grand and got a BBL stomach 6-pack.
That's funny.
Bro, that's hilarious. He's like, yeah, man, that shit costs 40 grand, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, that's why he said that's why he be wearing that funny shit at his shows, because basically he got a 6-pack like he been working out for years, but the rest of his body is like a little on the chubby side or something. And that's what's crazy, and that's what kind of makes you believe it's kind of true. Because like Rick Ross ain't in no position to talk about nobody weight. You know what I'm saying? So he like, yeah, this is true. You know what I'm saying? And then he said he got the nose job and stuff like that. And then in response to that, Drake actually posted a Instagram of him and his mother text messaging about having a nose job, and basically they being funny about it. But basically, they saying like, he ain't had no nose job, basically. But when you look at some of those old photos of him and look at the recent ones, his nose don't look the same.
Right. It looks different.
Yeah, it look different. So, Rick Ross been trolling him, whatever. And Drake has been trolling Metro Boomin all day today. Now, Metro Boomin is the one that did the production on Like That with Future, right? I think we back in now. Let me see. Yeah, we back in now. So yeah, so he just been trolling with that. Everybody waiting on that Kendrick Lamar response, man. I was on Facebook early and some guys were saying like, oh yeah, Kendrick just came and murdered everybody. And so then I had to do some research and look, and I'm like, nah, and I had to let them know, like, no, these are AI replies. These are not real replies. You know what I'm saying? And I want to ask you, like I said, being somebody that listen to hip hop, what do you think about the AI being a factor in music, period, and especially with these battles, trying to weave between like what song is real and not? Like, what's your take on that?
When AI was first getting kicked around, I never liked the idea of it, from photos to anything but audio, because it takes away from the authenticity of the original. And like have you noticed a lot of these pictures from Africa? They show these little kids with these water bottles, with these different like a car, like they made a car out of water bottles, or a helicopter. Right. And people are like, oh, it's funny, that's nice. To me, it's like, nah, it doesn't even make sense. It's like if something's gonna be a cartoon, then keep it in an all the way cartoon format. Something shouldn't look real, but it's actually a cartoon. It should be a cartoon. It should be colorful.
Right.
It should have shapes. Should look funny where you can easily tell. You know what I mean? It should be kid friendly. This AI is almost like adult friendly, and the people are eating it up. But as far as in regards to music, I think it's corny right there. I think it's corny to hear an AI Tupac song in the year 24. I don't like it. It's corny.
Mm-hmm. So you're not only speaking to it you said it's corny all around the board, and you made
any input, having the technology to take words that they previously said, or I don't know how it's done. I thought it was they searched the database for every song or anything that person said, and then you can compile, make them say stuff, or if it's something where they can adjust their voice to a particular word. It's corny either way, because you can actually make someone say something that they would have never said. It's whack.
Right. You said shit corny as fuck.
I put AI in the same category as where people had these rap debates, and they say Pac would have or Biggie would have. It's like you don't know what the hell either one of them would have been saying about now or anything. You know what I mean? Let that go.
Right. Yeah, it definitely just having to weave through it. You know what I'm saying? Like we was chopping it up earlier, and it's like these hip hop battles. Like just now we just have an influx of some of the top MCs going at it. And as a fan of hip hop, as a supporter of hip hop, as someone who's actually made music in the past for a long period of time and understand the process of it and the business of it to a degree, it just makes it it's just like really irritating, and it makes it dulls it down, because now it's just like you got to weed through it. You got to weed through this. I think the people that's really corny is the ones like, obviously, like you just said, the ones who's actually going through the trouble of actually doing it. Like, because the impression I'm under is that you make your own song and then you can apply their voice to what you wrote. That was my understanding of it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, how they go about that, I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it's only a Google search away. How do they use AI? How they using however they doing it. I'm pretty sure we could figure it out. But just them going through the process of it is lame as hell. And then I don't think people wanna, especially with the battle thing, or even with the music. I don't think people, you know what I'm saying, like wanna like it. But when you hear something and it catches your ear, it is what it is, but it's not real. So you can't really dive. You know what I'm saying? How much would you feed into some fake shit? Basically, is what you got to ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like
times where people are okay with fake shit.
And that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, just think about the conversation that we had in regards to ghostwriting and being MC. There was a point of time back in the day, like, biting used to be a thing. Like, you could not bite anybody's lyrics back in the day. Like, that was an automatic no-no. But now, as time has progressed, you got people like Jay-Z who done took Big Daddy Kane lines, Biggie lines. You got Snoop Dogg who done took like some Curtis Blow lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a no-no at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? But now,
I think some of them that be named, they paying homage by like saying a line, but there's a fine line in that, and you see it's supposed to be easily figured out that okay, this is the ode to this person right here. Like I don't think it's a total bite when somebody takes a line or even a bar. Sometimes it's like giving them their props, but with the new age, yeah, they got to the point where they'll use the whole bar and it won't even be in like from a reference standpoint. It'll be like I'm spitting this right here. It's like nah, somebody else said that because Drake, I've heard a lot of songs by Drake, but he used a lot of bars from other people, and it's like nah, this isn't like a ode to this person. You just used it.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying, especially with the paying homage thing. Yeah, like you said though, that's a fine line. Like that's a fine line, because I mean, Biden is using someone else's line, like, period. You know what I'm saying? So now there's wiggle room for paying homage, So I get it though. I get it. But like with Jay-Z and Biggie, I guess because Biggie died, you could say it's paying homage, but like Biggie got like Jay-Z got like a shitload of different like, I know you probably heard it back in the day, like some years ago, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. They came out with a compilation of all the songs that Jay-Z has bitten from. And like that compilation was probably like 7 minutes long. You know what I'm saying? So, who knows, man. But that's pretty much on that Drake shit, man. Ain't really nothing to talk about because Kendrick Lamar hasn't dropped yet. Rick Ross, Drake are just trailing each other. I think the shit that Drake dropped was pretty hard. I don't think it was an ether moment where that shit just gonna shut down everything, but that only can be determined based off what Kendrick come up with. You know what I'm saying? How he lay it down when he do drop, if he drops, because a lot of people say he ain't gonna drop no time soon. But I can't see him not dropping because he in a sense initiated it.
Right.
That shit with Future, that shit's still hard.
Like I say, he picked a hell of a beat, right? Okay, that's another thing. I've seen so many debates online about the beat where people are saying 3 6 Mafia did it better, and I'm thinking like, maybe I'm biased because I remember the original Rodney and Joe Cooley and General Jeff. But I'm wondering, like, why weren't they referenced? They kept talking about 3 6 Mafia, and I think somebody from Texas did it too. I don't know if UGK or somebody from down south used it as well. I'm like, nah, the originals, Rodney and Joe Cooley. Like, why aren't y'all bringing that up? So yeah, man, it's people get lost in the sauce, man, about the originals, and that's why that AI thing is garbage. Imagine if from years from now we start hearing Martin Luther King speeches AI.
Wow. Whoa, I didn't even think about that.
Then at that point, once technology gets his voice down pat, then you will have to throw away all shit he said, because you can't be able to tell. You have to be able to tell what he said. You can add shit to it.
Yeah, that's crazy that you said that. Like that adds a whole nother thing to it right there.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no AI Malcolm X speech. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, when the internet went out, it threw out my Twitch. But anyone looking at it, like, subscribe, share the content. Run me up. So yeah, that's pretty much on the Drake shit. It's pretty much it, man. Just wait. Everybody just sitting back waiting on the Kendrick Lamar joint. Another thing another thing though I didn't know that I just found out today is that Kendrick parents was actually from the south side of Chicago. Did you know that? Yeah, from the south side of Chicago. And the article I read, well, the headline of the article that I breezed through said that the father was had some dealings with the gangster disciples, and that was one of the reasons that he went to LA. And so, man, I get an edge to Kendrick too in this battle. But I'm thinking like, shit, they moved from Chicago one gang place to LA another gang place.
Yeah. Chicago to go on the Bloods, yeah.
You went from Gangster Disciples and what's they call them? What's the name of the Blackstone Rangers to Crips and Bloods and shit. Yeah. But that's kind of dope though, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I think that only adds to his creativity by having two parents from Chicago and then being raised in LA. I think that makes a big difference, and just the upbringing of somebody and the different experiences and a different game and personality wise. It can only add to his creativity, in my opinion, just on that. So moving on. All right, we done off the Drake, Metro, and Kendrick and all that bullshit. So I was looking at a post with 50 Cent, and he asked a question on IG today. He said, "Are there any organizations for heterosexual men?" He said, "I don't want no smoke. I'm just asking." Now, I'm asking you the question: do you know of any organizations that's geared toward heterosexual men?
Organizations,
right?
That's geared towards hetero. I don't think. Well, as far as the labeling, no, but I'm pretty sure that there has to be an organization that's geared towards men.
But see, that's my point. That's what I'm kind of getting at. Not my point. What I'm getting at is that, like, you have, LGBTQ whatever organizations. You have women organizations. You have 1,000 different organizations for women. Then you have 1,000 different organizations for people that are not heterosexual. But is there a specific organization geared toward heterosexual men, not like men like there? I'm pretty sure there's like organizations for men concerning something, but is there an organization basically specific for heterosexuality? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think there is.
Right, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So I kind of get what 50 Cent was getting at with that. And the reason I bring that up is the video that I sent you with Jaden and Justin Bieber. Now, Justin Bieber has just been, kind of thrown to the mix with this whole P. Diddy, grooming people when they were younger. And Justin Bieber was one of the kids that used to hang out with Diddy, and wherever they hung out at. And I don't know who all seen the video, but Jaden Smith walks up behind Justin Bieber, spoons him, does a little shimmy and wiggle, very close, touching, very feminine, romantic like gesture that you would do to a girl, but he did it to Justin Bieber, two guys. And Justin Bieber kind of goes along with it. And then as Jaden Smith comes to the left of him, Jaden turns around and kisses him on the cheek, and then they start to engage in normal conversation. So is this like hip hop is changing? AI, is this is this the new way that men are gonna start greeting each other?
Man, these little greetings like that ain't just in the music industry or entertainment. It's in the street. How many videos have we seen where somebody's saying something in front of the camera, and then one of their homeboys come from behind them and throw their arm around them or stand directly in back of them, and you know what I mean? Just suspect activity that it may not be that's what it is, but they're so comfortable with close proximity as to where other people that's not like that, that's how we view it.
So you saying like it's possible? Like I've seen the pictures where like it'd be like 7 dudes in a room and like they'll all be hugged up, like is what I'm saying? Like, is that normal shit, or is it like okay, they're not engaging in each other in any type of sexual way, none of that, but they feel more comfortable with, like you said, being in close proximity of each other, and it may come off as a little bit too touchy-feely, but at the end of the day, it's all good.
I think it's one of them situations where it's a societal change in things. I do believe if there were more double parent homes, you wouldn't see as much familiarity and comfortability in two young boys, or two older men, or two adults being in that close proximity without it looking kind of funny. I think it would have never even came to that. But because of the situation we have with a lot of the single mothers, some of them are raising 2 boys, and they have them bunched up together. I'm pretty sure some of them made them take baths together. I'm pretty sure playing games, it was okay for them. I know for myself, I was babysitting two paternal twins, two boys. They were 12 years old. They were playing a video game, and there was one large chair in the living room. There's other seating, but there was the video game chair. And for some reason, both of them wanted to sit in the chair, and I broke that up. I'm like, nah, there's no need for y'all. Y'all playing video games. Y'all need to sit in the same chair. Now, I don't know nothing about the paternal twins, and twins got that link and all that. No, they need to start breaking away from that at that age, 12 and 13. They don't need to be up underneath each other all the time. And I noticed they were like that, so I started breaking them up. No, you sit over here, you sit over there. And these grown men now, they grew up like that, so they're comfortable with that. They're comfortable being in the club and two dudes, gangster dancing with each other, and and jumping. Somebody put out a video camera or their phone, and the men hugged up, and that's the homie, her arm go around him. I don't remember none of that when I was younger. Right. Never one of my homies ever threw his arm around my neck while I'm doing something else, or stood in back of me so close as to where if I back up, I'm on the tip of his toes. Like, nah, I don't remember none of
that. Nah, exactly. Yeah, man, like, I don't know what to say about it. I know, besides like some stuff you see on the internet, and then what the Jaden and the Beaver thing is just like, it kind of just fits into that conversation or that question that 50 Cent asked, like, are there any heterosexual organizations for men? Because, it seems like your average black, well, not just black, but I would say black, but not just black. It doesn't pertain just to black people or black males. But your average male that's a heterosexual, there's nothing in place for him to deal with the things that he might encounter when it comes to other sexual preferences. You see what I'm saying? It's like, if I go to a party and I'm a heterosexual man, and I get approached by another guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I handle that? You see what I'm saying? And this is what's happening on a daily basis. Not to mention, you got heterosexual men who are being fooled into dealing with men who dress up like women. You see what I'm saying? And them not being up front, and then something may lead to something else, and then the guy finds out that this is really a man after the fact. There's no organization set up for guys in that regard. You see what I'm saying? And that's traumatic right there. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, either you're gonna be messed up for the rest of your life, or you're gonna mess up your life because you probably hurt somebody for tricking you in that way. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a lose-lose situation right there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe 50 Cent, hit on something right there with maybe some people should start looking into building organizations to kind of counteract these.
Well, then maybe if he brought that up, and it is valid, because I struggled for a minute thinking, okay, well, is there one? But then you think that most men in that situation, they don't need, like, what for? But now that you detailed it that way, that could be a traumatic, especially for the younger generation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then even if they don't see it as a problem, some of them need to be made aware that that's not a good look. That's not a good, just like the bros over hoes. That's not a good look right there. That's not anything with men bending together and saying, fuck these over. I don't think that's a good look right there. That's what. Well, I mean, what you think the other side is hollering? You know what I mean? For straight men to be hollering that, what you think that the one that's not straight, how you think he looking when he hear you say that? He's like, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, if 50 Cent recognized that, then maybe he should cut back on the internet trolling and them. I don't watch them show. I call them garbage, because I think anytime you like showcasing black mental health issues on the screen as entertainment, and we love shit like that. Dope dealer stories, the gangster shit. I don't know how people still watch that. Like, black people should be tired of watching black degradation on TV, and have music behind it and the soundtrack to it and lay the stars on. I don't know, man. That's something we need to get up out.
So are you? So you basically, when you say that, you're basically referencing or speaking on like BMF and Power. Are you speaking on that when you say that?
Yeah, exactly. All the way to the T. BMF, Power, all of those shows where people get excited to see ghetto life. But then when the real stories come out of these ghetto life, oh, that's a shame. Oh, we need to come together. We need to come. How can you say we need to come together, but you bring your butt cheeks together to sit in that fucking chair to watch that shit, that stuff when it's on TV? You know what I mean? I don't get that part right there. You know.
Now, is it fair to say that? And you know, violence is everywhere. It's in black culture, white culture, Asian culture. You know, whatever culture you can think of, there's some level of violence. Is there more violence in the black community? Probably, you know, depending on what areas, you know, what country we talking about and stuff like that. However, for every culture, they have their basically, you know, their genres of movies or whatever, and they make these same movies. You know, we've all seen the mob movies, we've seen Russian mafia movies, we've seen Asian mafia movies, we've seen Hispanic, Latin cartel movies. You know, should that go across the board in your opinion, or are you just applying it to black people because me and you both are black?
That's a valid question right there, and there's black people that straddle the fence on a question like that, and there's some people that don't see nothing wrong with either side, either saying, "Hey, let all that stuff go," or "No, it's harmless." You know, other races do it too. I'll address the other races doing it too. Anytime you have a situation where there's something that black people are participating in, and there's a reality aspect to it, as to where in reality, which means off screen, people who live and function like BMF and them different shows, there's nothing glorious about that. People end up in prison. People end up losing their fathers, losing their mother to drugs, all kind of stuff going on. The agenda, you know what I mean? The rainbow agenda, like, you know, we lose in real life. Right. So when you see these other races, they do it too. Have you noticed those shows that you said, like the Italian shows, the mafia shows and everything? They don't start targeting the young Italian kids. They don't make sure that a kid is on this showcase on something. They don't do that. The Mexicans don't do that. Other races, they don't do that. They may have these shows, the Scarfaces and the Sopranos and all these different things, but they don't start showcasing the younger generation to get them into it. We do that. We on these shows, 5 years old to 85. It's something for everybody on there. You know what I mean? And we have more to lose by doing that. They may not have a lot to lose. Right. If they was to start getting into everything that we're into right now, it might take them maybe 500 years to get to our point. With us, we leading the pack. We barely holding on.
Right. No, I see what you're saying with that. Yeah. You know, if we're going to look at the grants.
Let me bring this up here. Something that I tripped off of. Now, I was incarcerated doing the whole BMF thing, so I've never really, I probably don't see that the way everybody else see it. My era was Free Ray Rick. That was my era. So the BMF thing is new to me, and the Big Meech and the Sun and all that. That's all new to me. It seems a little Hollywoodish to me. But okay. So there was a situation where his son, Lil Meech, where he was going through an airport. And so have you watched the show?
I watched the first and I think second season of it, and I have seen that footage of him at the airport.
Okay, so he does play on the show, right?
Right, he's one of the main characters.
He's an actual character on the show.
Yeah.
And his dad was somebody that was in a dope gang, correct?
Right, his father, Big Meech, was a big time drug dealer.
not drug dealers, and I'm pretty sure there's rumors or allegations of some gangster shit going on, murder and killings and all kind of things, people getting killed and beat up and all that, right?
Absolutely.
Does Lil Meech's character play anything on that show that's like involved with that too?
Yeah, he plays his father. So yeah.
Okay, so he plays his father. But so when the cameras yell cut and he back through his trailer and he showers and he leaves, whatever, and then he boards this flight to go somewhere, and then there's a mistake made where the luggage that he's grabbing, it was the security person. So there's a gun in there, and they pull him off to the side. It's real life now. You know, the director Ben Yell cut. He ain't in Hollywood no more. He's in real life at the airport, and Lil Meech, that plays his father on that show, he grabbed the wrong luggage, and there's a gun in there. So they pull him off to the side. They don't snatch him. There's no big old scene. They just pull him off to the side. Mm-hmm. And the boy got the acting like a. Can I cuss on here?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, the way he got to acting like a fucking bitch, I would never watch that show. That would if I was even entertained by that garbage ass show from that point on, and seeing him in real life acting like the bitch that he is, that would turn me off. That boy sat there and said, "I'm a good kid. You can call my mama. That ain't my gun." All this bitch ass shit. And they never said. It's 100 years. They never said none of that shit. They never said they knew what it was. They just wanted to confirm that, hey, whose is this right here? We know it ain't yours, motherfucker. You already telling. We ain't even took your interrogation room. You already telling. You tell us to call your mama that you a good kid. That's what he said verbatim. I'm a good kid. I go to school. And he pulled the straight weenie ass nigga card, but when it's time to yell and action, nigga throw that fantasy on. I don't like shit like that, man. I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know any of his background. You know, I don't know how he was raised. Yes, his father is a big time drug dealer. You know, I don't know how old he was when he got incarcerated. I don't know how much of his father's lifestyle rubbed off on him or he had to deal with while his father was incarcerated, how much of that he had to deal with growing up. I see what you're saying though, you know, but I don't know I would have to make that call, like how you put it in a sense, I would have to see, okay, what has he been through before he started playing his father on TV, you know, because even though that's his father and he's linked to it since it's his father, you know, that doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, put that gangster in him. He's just playing a role, even if it is his father. You see what I'm saying? So I would want to go through and see, okay, how was his upbringing? You know, based off that story, I think it was based off what he was saying in the airport, it was the security guard's gun. And I think he got off of that. Like, I don't think nothing came of it. You know, I think he got arrested that day, but I don't think he got caught a charge or anything for it. So whatever it was, I don't think it ended up affecting him, except for whatever he's saying. He was supposed to go to like an award show or something that day that he got detained for that. But I see what you're saying though. Like, you know, people portraying these roles in television, or some people actually living his lifestyle, but then when something actually happens, you know, they don't live up to the lifestyle that they think they want to be a part of.
You can pull that. I mean, all right. You know, and so just imagine how some white people feel but it is a situation where race wasn't involved and somebody uses the race card. Mm-hmm. Imagine how some of us don't like to hear that. Mm-hmm. You don't tell me when to use the race, but put yourself in that person's shoes where something happened, somebody white dealing with somebody that's black, and something happened, and the black person is clearly throwing it out there. Race, you did this because I'm that. So this dude here, he's able to play that. I'm not a nigga. He's able to he instantaneously pulled that out. I'm not a nigga. I'm not a real nigga.
Right. Yeah.
It's his and all that. I'm a good kid. I go to school. You can call my mama. You know what I mean?
Right.
And outside of the show, in the clubs, and I mean, I see the little videos and everything. It's still that persona.
Right.
It's the persona that's out there. But like I say, when shit get real, I ain't hands up. That ain't me. We got to start being so comfortable with looking at people acting and giving them the thumbs up because they're showing a depiction of what other motherfuckers really go through. I think that's why we always gonna lose, because we always give them the thumbs up to those fucking actors and people who really live like that. We either in all some stupid shit, or we don't commend them enough when they're saying, "Hey, this ain't the way to go."
Right. No. I mean, that's a topic of discussion, that we need to have. I think, where does, life and art, what's the line between that? Because, you got some people pretending, you got some people that's really doing it, and then stop doing it and talk and rap and make movies about it, and then you got people who do both at the same time, and those situations definitely don't end good. So, and it all kind of leans toward, unless you're making some type of financial gain off of it, is it overall beneficial for the collective of people that's being entertained by it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean we both know though it ain't going nowhere. Like
no, the thirst for it is strong. It's
yeah, it ain't going nowhere. And and I watch this stuff, but that one thing about me though, and this is going back to when I was a shorty, I always understood the difference between being entertained by something and then trying to take that personification on in my real life. You know what I'm saying? Like I always understood the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like some people listen to something and then they'll just go like straight overboard, and now that's them. You know what I'm saying? Based off a song or a movie or some shit. And me, I was just like a little bit, and people get caught up in it. Music is very influential. So, and I've had my times where, maybe not with anything violent, but I've had my time where music has been influential, and movies, to where you would kind of like, one of the things for me, and like this when I was like hustling, is like when Belly came out with DMX and Nas. Like, man, when I seen that nigga, like you could tell me I wasn't gonna be like Noriega or Freeway Ricky Ross, nigga. Nigga, I think I went and caught like a half a pound like the next day. Shit, like we gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? So it is influential. It is influential. And if you're not smart, it can end up tragic for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't pump the brakes on how you moving.
You know what's crazy is that I've never seen Belly.
Nah.
You would be surprised the longest of movies I haven't seen on purpose.
I haven't seen movies
on purpose. On purpose. On purpose. Because I've seen once you've seen like-minded movies, you don't need to see all the ones. You know what I mean? I've seen enough movies like that as to where I understand what goes on. I may not have seen that specific one, but I ain't missing out on nothing. You know what I mean? I'm missing out on everything that happened in there that they depict. There's other movies where that same shit was depicted or in real life. I remember my mother took us to go see Colors when Colors came out.
Yeah.
And I remember, and we went to go see it. It was in a nice area, California. We went to go see it too. And do you know that by the time we got to the car, some nigga had found his way over there to ask the homie where he from.
Mm-hmm.
He was young, just like us. So I know about the influence and shit. And then I also remember, ironic as it is, same movie theater, we went there to go see New Jack City.
Right.
There, one of my homies asked me, do I know where he can get some dope from? He ready to be Nino. So it's like, me and you and others, we can sit back and say, Oh, I always knew the difference between, you know, listen to this rap and knew it wasn't real and I had sense and all that. Okay, that's us. But at the same time, you seen the commercial on TV about a pair of clothes, something, and then you wanted to go get it. So some of us are not that strong. Like you gotta remember, we come from a people that never address mental health issues. We always listing all the trauma we went through, how all these other races, they still speak their native tongue and you know, people who speak their, you know, different languages where they come from, and us, we got horrible things done to us, but we never add on that. We never address the mental health issues. A lot of our mental health issues are unaddressed. Mm-hmm. So somebody like you that can listen to a NWA album and say, they just talking about. I don't have to do that. That don't go for the next dude.
No, absolutely.
I'm to that shit, and that shit is permeating his brain. And he's like, shit, it's time for me to get the AK. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it happens.
Yeah. Nah, you're right about that. You're right about that, man. I've been witness to it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, yeah, that's the unfortunate part of music, movies, and entertainment is that, you know, people try to mimic it because they like it so much or they can relate to it. But at the end of the day, like you said originally, you know, it's to your own detriment to it. If it goes too far, it's to your own detriment at the end of the day. So yeah, man, that's is what it is. But I don't know, man. We put in 51 minutes. You got any other topics you wanna? I'm my clip empty right about now. Is there any other things you want to speak on before wrapping it up? Anything that you want to express or let the people know about, or anything you want to touch on?
We can touch on the situation with the eclipse. You know, the eclipse was a big old event, especially in the so-called woke community.
Okay.
That eclipse, it was a major thing, man. A lot of people traveled. A lot of people did, you know, their little rituals, and a lot of people looked up at the sky and bought the glasses. I seen plenty of people selling glasses on there. It was like $15 for two or something like that. And
yeah.
Everybody had predictions. Some people said it was the Armageddon, the world going in, and stock up on your water. And, you know, there was a lot of talk about that. And then, you know, kind of went down and then happened and it was over with. And they jumped back on the Diddy train. You know what I mean? So, another situations where, like, black mental health unaddressed.
All right.
It's been happening for a long time before people were even into them. Like, I remember at a point in time when anything had to do with the sky, that was considered like nerd activity. Only so-called nerds would be. I mean, but now everybody was involved with it. Everybody was concerned about it. And this is going to happen, and, you know, put your crystals out, and, you know, all this and that. But like I said, as soon as it blew over, and not much happened. You know, I didn't see a total darkness anywhere where I was. And, you know, and I was out front. I went and I got a pair of glasses too. I heard it to my phone. You know, I didn't see what people was seeing. I didn't see none of that. But one of the incidents that struck me about it was that sister out there in California that said that you need to pick a side on her Twitter. You know, you need to pick a side, and this is going to be the Armageddon, and that'll be the apocalypse. And she killed her husband and 9-year-old daughter and her 8-month-old into the SUV, and she jumped on the freeway, and then either she pulled over and pushed him out, or she pushed him out while she was driving, and the 8-month-old baby got crushed on the freeway by oncoming traffic. The 9-year-old daughter was able to make it off the freeway. And then the mother crashed into a tree and committed suicide. You know, it was a murder-suicide. Eclipse, murder-suicide. And you don't even hear much about it. And then when it did come out, you know, they searched the house. They went on her social media and you know, they looked at the tarot cards and the readings that she does, and you know, the whole woke thing. And people were defending that. When I think it's a known thing now that a lot of people, maybe not everybody who's into that, obviously, you know, there's a lot of people that's into that's not mentally balanced.
Right.
And there's not many people. I don't know if you've had any run-ins with them. I mean, they're online all day.
Yeah, I get it. Man, my DMs, like, bro, you want a tarot reading? You want a card reading? Bro, it's like ridiculous. Like, it didn't kind of slow down that because I haven't been real active on social media, but like at a point when I was like very, very, very active, like they was sending stuff like every other day, and you go to their page and somebody, crouched over doing like a reverse meditation balance on their head or something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Reverse balance meditation.
You know what I'm saying? Like a reverse balance move, they balancing on their head. It's like, it's cool. I'm not knocking that. I've done yoga before. I went to a comedic yoga ceremony that the homie Asa Rue did out here in Atlanta some years ago, and then I flew out to Houston where he had his first session, and it was cool. I'm into, ain't nothing wrong with stretching the body and all that stuff, but it kind of goes what we was talking about with the just with the music thing. It's like, you feed into something so much. And then you got this lady that you're talking about who I'll say allegedly, just for all the facts not being out there or everything being confirmed as of yet that I don't know about. I don't know, how much of the story do you know? Because I know you a little bit more in tune with this story than me. But reading so much into this stuff, eclipses and tarot cards, and that she's actually killed herself, killed one of her kids allegedly, and supposedly stabbed her husband too, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we got
9-year-old.
Right. So we got 3, two murders, a suicide, and
an attempted murder.
An attempted murder with the 9-year-old survived allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So very unfortunate. And if her belief in some of that stuff led her to do it, then that makes it even more crazier. Because I don't care, I don't know, it depends on if you're talking to someone that's real religious or not, but I don't care like what you believe in. If you believe in to the degree where you'll kill your own kids, at least your own kids, like I can understand, okay, maybe killing yourself. I don't understand that. I don't even understand killing somebody else in the name of religion. But let's just say, okay, in the name of your religion, you're willing to kill yourself or kill, another adult, but your kids, your own kids too, at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that's happening spiritually with you or religiously with you that warrants that, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So
right. And also, if you look at it, so let's take like biblical times. Because people bring up, what it happened with Christians? Because I remember on that that Clubhouse, somebody brought up about I don't know the Bible in and out, but one of the characters in the Bible was that God called to sacrifice his son. You know, but I think the difference is in those times, according to that book, that was God talking to him. That was God speaking to him and everything. With this woman here, it wasn't even no God. It was she was getting information off her phone service, fucking phone.
Basically, the internet.
Yeah, so you got a chip in your phone that's hooked to the network, and she's on these social media platforms, and you're reading about what day and time the eclipse is. So basically, it's like the news and told her to do all that. The news channel, not God, not voices in her head.
All right.
Her phone data gave her access to know the date and time that this eclipse was going to happen. If the news had said, you know what, wait, astronomers just told us that the eclipse won't happen on the on the 8th. It's going to happen on the 9th. It's going to be at 3:30. She would have changed her whole plans. So that's what makes it even super goofy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
From her own mind. She didn't reason none of that shit. It was her phone data plan that was connected to that internet and all that. So it's pitiful. So I'm not trying to make joke or light of it. I'm just trying to show the goofiness and the simpletonness of it, of somebody using a telephone as a fucking database and doing some shit like that. Murder, triple murder, double murder, attempted murder, suicide.
Right.
From your phone. All from your phone. That's dangerous right there, man. That's dangerous.
Yeah. Once you break it, I mean, yeah. Damn. And that's what happened. People are, man. So as human beings, we it's one thing, like you said, back in the day, it was, supposedly God giving you this information. And now you basically have a network of a whole bunch of people disseminating information that isn't necessarily true, hasn't been confirmed, or there's a lot of spookiness to it, and people jumping off the ledge and doing like acts like this and destroying families. Wow, that's crazy.
Right. And another thing to add to it, to show you just the absurdity in it, she watched the video, she heard things, she came up with determination that this is the apocalypse. Mm-hmm. On the 8th, between this time right here, it's going down, so I'm going to do this right here. So she came up with that. So why isn't it that when she watched all these other things about nutricide, what they're doing to natural food, mm-hmm. What's going on with the chicken eggs, what's going on with the meat, with the air, why she ain't look at none of that stuff and said, you know what? I'm going to go crazy off of this. I'm going to go on this land. We're going to pack up the car. We're going to go over here in these woods and we're going to do this. Why she ain't do that? Why she ain't do that stuff?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the video. Did you see the video maybe like 2 weeks ago with the Marine? I don't know what branch of the military he was in, but he set himself on fire. You seen it?
No, what did he set himself on fire for?
Bro, because of the unfair treatment with the Palestine and with the Israel thing going on over there. And
so he lit himself up to show that people, to show people how serious he was about his concern with that.
Yes, bro. White, dressed in full, fatigues. Did a video, said, I'm about to demonstrate, the unjust stuff that's happened to the Palestine people with Israel, or whatever. Doused himself in gasoline or some type of igniter, flame, you know what I'm saying? Some type of substance, and sat there trying to light himself. Took him a few flicks, and then he succeeded maybe on the 4th or 5th flick, and set himself on fire. And while as he was burning alive, he was saying, free Palestine, or stop the genocide in Palestine. He was screaming that until he started like screaming or yelling, and then died. I gotta give it to him though, because for a nice amount of time while he was on fire, like he was just saying free Palestine. Like you would, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but I just feel like, people, I don't know. I wouldn't set myself on fire, but people the belief of something be so strong that you're willing to do that. Like you said, this lady with the eclipse and tarot cards and whatever she read or seen as doomsday or whatever, and she would do that, and this guy would set himself on fire. And it's like, you're not thinking about, like, and that's what I'm saying, like, if it gets to the extreme with whatever your belief is that you have to do that, then you got to kind of question, you got to kind of question what it is. You got to question your mental health, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to question your personal mental health, and then you got to question, whatever it is that you're believing in this much, how much fact do you got behind it to really justify what you're about to do to yourself or do to somebody else? Yeah. You got to look at that though. Check it out.
I'm gonna look at that. Yeah, I didn't even hear nothing about that.
That's crazy. That one got by you, bro. But that's the thing though, and that's what's sad about it, because he did that and nothing has changed. They still warring over there. Now you just burnt yourself alive. You just put yourself through excruciating pain and died look like a young kid, don't look like he was that old. So you didn't even get to live the rest of your life. I don't know if you had a wife or kids or anything, but if you didn't, you didn't even get to experience that. Then on top of that, I'm pretty sure you got parents or someone is in your life that love you, and then look at the hurt you just put them through by that. So all of that stuff don't matter, but this something that's going on overseas that you're not necessarily a part of, or maybe you have seen some things because you were in that branch of military. I don't know the full circumstance, but it just don't seem like it was worth it to me. And then life goes on, no one's talking about it. You didn't even know about it. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. And I also think even further, I think if either side of them, the Israeli or Palestinian, had a talk with him on their own and see some of his views and what he believes just in general and just living life as a human, they probably would have said on fire.
Right. Right.
So yeah. He just all the way was just goofy. I mean, there's plenty of goof troops, man. It's people that's willing to stand up and be a trooper for goofy shit. You know, even what we talked about earlier, as far as the rap beef. Now it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely needed because just with the Sexy Red and the Sukianas and the other mumble mouth Glorilla.
Right.
It just get corny, man. Just corny, the mumble mouth dudes and all that stuff. So it's good that some coherent rappers can step up and go at it. But at the same time, you got 30, 40, 50-year-old motherfuckers super too hyped about this right here. Like too hyped.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's a beef, it's a battle and everything, but some of them getting a little bit too hyped on this shit. You know what I mean? They are, man. They are.
Hey, I'm laughing because I'm one of them. I'm like, I'm not crazy with it, but I'm looking forward to it though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking forward to it too. But there's people who, like I can show you one of my I would say this lady, one of my Facebook friends. And I swear to God, no organization. If you go this lady at any given time from today or you went back a year ago, I guarantee you, in a succession of 10 posts, 9 of them is about celebrities. So that's sick right there. That's sick that all day your mind go to just sharing shit about celebrities and music all day. There's no other concern in your brain but they going to the food. You ain't got to be type of that's up on shit. I understand that. Some people don't care. I understand that. See, one thing I do, I know that a lot of people have been through the challenge. They understand that I was born to wake up when our alarm would go off, wash my ass, head to work, sit in that cubicle, be a good nigga, come home, watch TV, do what I do, repeat the process 5 days a week, sometimes overtime. I understand there's a lot of people that have been through in the town. They set that as their lot in life. And I ain't mad at them. Somebody got to do that shit. You don't want nothing else out of life. That's all you feel you can do. And that's all you going to do. No problem with that. But it's like for somebody to just consistently be concerned with celebrity gossip and celebrity worship, man, that is like they could be so much help for somebody else. Like that's somebody that can just, go in the bank with the bank.
You breaking up.
You're stuck here worried about celebrities. Man, that's a shame, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man, definitely are a lot of more important things to be worrying about what's going on and, celebrity, trending topics and stuff like that. It's entertaining, a lot of people, and with you bringing that up, and that be the thing too, that a lot of people are trying to escape their reality, having just to go to work, working long hours, and then they only get that moment of leisure by turning their phones on, tuning into the latest gossip, whatever's trending, and that's like a form of escapism, I guess. To where it's some people, and I've had conversations with people who've told me this, like people like They don't like when they go online, they don't even want to talk about like or hear anything about like serious issues and stuff. They want to like go to like they'll strictly like go to TikTok so they can see like all the funny, silly videos, and that's the only thing because life be depressing. So you know that life be so depressing when you do when you when you do get a moment, you want to see funny, crazy.
I don't need to laugh. Look, I don't need to laugh, man. And I'm not laughing at somebody who, the world got so cold where this is entertainment for you. That's all. I'm not laughing at that because me personally, I sat somewhere where I didn't want to be for 18 years, and so I understand the mind of giving up. Not from a personal perspective, just being around motherfuckers that gave you up. That's where I come from. So I understand though to give up though. I've seen plenty of people. Like one thing I can never understand is how the people who love that show, America's Funniest Home Videos. Mm-hmm. I watched men watch that show year after year. If you remember that show, if you was a devout fan of that show, it used to be funny.
Yeah, I watched it.
That used to be one of the funniest shows on TV. But when you watched it enough, let's say maybe a decade, let's say 10 fucking years, and you hee ha ha, kiki kaka at the same fucking shit for 10 fucking years, you're going to start to notice how a lot of them videos were scripted. The people in the church where the woman doing the vows and then the skirt come off and she got the pantyhose on everything, you start to notice how in the background they only show in front of the church because they just rented the church real quick. And it's only like 8 or 9 people up in there. If you turn the camera around, it'd be empty. So it wasn't a real wedding. But once you start noticing certain things, like this shit is scripted. So when you get into year 20 of seeing motherfuckers watch the same shit and laughing on cue, you're like, wait a minute, this motherfucker retarded. This motherfucker retarded. You've been laughing at this shit for 20 years.
He said laughing on cue.
Yeah, laughing on cue. On the same shit like that. And then the coldest part about that show, they started showing the same. It's like whoever's in the main control room, he used to put the same video on that he showed last week. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't even miss an episode. It wouldn't even be a new episode. It'd be the exact same one.
That's crazy.
And motherfuckers be laughing at that shit. And I'm like, nah, this ain't normal right here, man. I'm glad I don't watch that shit.
Yeah, I used to watch American Funniest Video. But I was pretty young when I was. That was because that was like early 90s shit, right? With the dude from the father from
was corny. Jokes was corny, everything. Wasn't it Bob Saget? It was something like that.
Man,
that was his name, wasn't it? Bob Saget, Faggot.
It was Saget. I think it was Saget. Yeah, he was the father in
R.I.P. on that show with them two albino monkey looking girls.
Yeah, Bob Saget. Yeah. He was in. R.I.P. to Bob Saget, man. I like Bob Saget, man. He's cool.
I guess he was hot, but he was corny as a motherfucker.
Yeah. He was definitely Mr. Rogers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It was the family-oriented show. That show didn't offend nobody. It offended your mentality at the watch. Like, okay, wait a minute now. This shit old now. This shit is scripted. But man, that's a good example to use, man. That people some people need to be entertained. Some people need to be entertained, and there's nothing wrong. We humans. Nobody want to be to the grind 24/7, deep in thought. I understand that right there. There's something wrong when you want to be hee ha ha 24/7.
Right, exactly.
I'd rather be stuck 24/7 on the grind, stressed out, pull my hair out. Gray hairs everywhere. I'd rather be that than to be 24/7 hee ha ha dumb and don't know what's going on.
Absolutely, most definitely, man. Well, man, bro, it's been a real one. It's to the street with Fact and Entertainment meet. We gonna be hitting y'all every other day, if not every day. I'm kind of thinking every other day or when the moment calls for it, man. You know what I'm saying? We pop on when there's something to talk about. Or when we got something we want the people to know. We got off grid on code off grid. Mind over matter on the line. He'll be tapping in via phone for the time being. Anything you want to hit the people with before we wrap it up, bro?
Just we looking forward to bringing y'all some good perspectives that we sat down and discussed. We got some past shows that we've done on some informational type things from Instagram stories, that were national to I guess regular celebrity type topics, but we delved off deeper into it. And we got a lot of information that the average person doesn't have. And I think we're going to do a recap on a couple of those shows because it's definitely interesting, especially in the so-called woke community. There's a thing going around now where these black scammers are really the best of naive black people that want to own land and go off grid and, live camping and things like that. There's some cold scammers that's out there, black scammers. These are black people and they're using religion, they're using crystals, they're using whatever that you're into that you align with just to get your money. And they have been successful in doing this. And I'm talking about for millions of dollars. And they still on Facebook, they still on Instagram, they ain't running and ducking. They're here.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely gonna touch on some topics we've already brought up and go deeper with more topics because, like you said, it's still going on. We got people that's getting duped left and right just because they're feeding to what they're seeing on social media a little bit too much, and it's not coming from genuine people who got the people's best interests at heart and just our stand-up people on the internet bringing information and if it's possible to make a little money in the process. And with that being said, to support the show, Cash App is to the street. For any support. Also, you can Cash App my man Mind Over Matter at RGB Mentality, right?
RBG Mentality, yes.
Right, RBG Mentality. So support us. Two solid individuals, not scamming nobody. Just doing the research, doing the work, coming up here, knowledgeable, factual, entertaining, and just giving y'all guys, like you said, our perspective on things with facts and some entertainment in there too. So yeah, man, we signing off. I appreciate you coming on, Mind Over Matter. We gonna catch y'all on the next one. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button, and we out. Peace.
Peace.